So Triangle Factory's upcoming VR PvP first-person shooter Forefront looks fun. But that's the thing, it looks fun for people like me, who are already invested in VR gaming and have been conditioned to accept that most VR games, unfortunately, will be built for MetaQuest headsets in mind. This means most VR games are gonna look very dated, to say the least. But what are you gonna do about it? As long as the gameplay is fun, we're willing to give it a chance because even a game with PS2 level graphics can be a lot of fun in first-person VR. That's just the magic of virtual reality. It makes everything better. Of course we know this because we already tried VR. We know what it is, what it does, and we love it. But let me tell you something. If you came to me 4 years ago and showed me this exact same Forefront trailer and asked if I'm interested in picking up a VR headset to play this game, I would say hell no. What are you, crazy? Why would I be interested in playing an FPS game with potato graphics, let alone buy new hardware for it, when I can play Call of Duty on my PS5? You know, an FPS game that actually looks current gen. And this is the point of this video. 90% of the VR games available on the market today are not gonna help in bringing new players from the other side. Games like Forefront are great for existing VR gamers, but will definitely not convince any flat gamer to make the switch. But imagine for a second if Battlefield 6 is getting a VR mode at launch. Now that, with the right marketing campaign, can be transformative for VR. It could bring hundreds of thousands of new players, potentially even millions, because it's a well-known IP, and a damn good video game with high production value. By the way, Battlefield 6 is really good. I spent about 30 hours in the beta and I think it's going to absolutely crush Call of Duty this year. DICE finally did it, guys, and we are so back. But getting back to the topic of this video, VR will never go mainstream with the type of games made today. VR needs hybrids, or VR-only games that are based on established IPs, like Metro Awakening and Alien Rogue Incursion. People are not going to be interested in VR gaming until they see their favorite games in VR. Period, end of discussion. Again, I'm living proof of that. If it wasn't for the Resident Evil Village VR mode, I most likely would not be here today talking to you guys about what VR needs. I knew that VR exists, but the idea of experiencing it never crossed my mind, until I saw that Resident Evil Village VR trailer. So VR needs big IPs, I don't think anyone can argue with that. But how can we have such games if most developers can stop prioritizing the MetaQuest platform? I'm sure you can have some version of Battlefield 6 running on Quest, but I'm also sure it's not gonna look anything like the Battlefield 6 we know. Whereas on PSVR 2 or PC VR you can absolutely achieve the same level of fidelity. Also, how is it possible that when we actually get huge IPs like Gran Turismo, Horizon, Resident Evil, Metro and Alien, we as a community tend to undermine them? How is it possible that Beat Saber still tops the charts when we have such games? I mean, I know to each their own and all that, but some of you guys are sending the wrong message here. You're giving developers like Funtrain an excuse to stop giving us the games we like. Anyways, I'm going in circles here. I'm just gonna end this video by saying flat to VR Studios, Capcom, Vertigo Games, Survios, Firesprite, Polyphony Digital, EA, and every other studio or publisher that is currently supporting VR, you guys are awesome. Keep doing what you're doing, and I hope we, as a community, show more support to these developers because that's how we ensure we get more games from them, which in a way will help bring more players to VR, so that VR can finally become mainstream as soon as possible. But of course, that's just what I think. I'm interested to know what you guys think, so make sure to drop your thoughts in the comments below. And that's gonna have to do it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching, and remember, for more VR news, reviews, and discussions, make sure you stick with MBG.